Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. I have a couple that I know very well, and I will call them Jane and Tom for the purpose of this video. They have adopted a stir-fried dish, commonly is known as fuyang egg. In fact, what they have done is that they use this dish as a way to lose weight. So I decided that I'm going to look into see how they actually do it. There's one version of this dish is with shrimp and mushroom, and I decided I'm going to take a close look at this one. So the first thing I decided to do is to look at the calorie calculation to decide whether it really allowed them to lose weight. The first item is that they use 6 large white eggs, that is about 420 calories. And then they use 5 ounces of shrimp. That is actually very low. It's only 115 calories. However, they coat the shrimp with cornstarch, with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and that contributes to 30 calories. Now the mushroom is almost funny because it has almost no calorie at all. They use 3 ounces of mushroom that only come to about 18 calories. And then it comes to the canola oil. They use 3 tablespoons of canola oil, which actually quite significant. That's about 120 calories. And then remaining are just the sauces. So altogether, this dish is about 714 calories for both of them. And that is not bad at all. They told me that this egg dish is amongst their favorite because they both love shrimp and mushroom. So I decided I'm going to recreate this dish based on how they describe to me the way they cook this dish. I start out by heat up some canola oil. I use probably a little bit more than 2 tablespoons, so I'm probably more generous than they are when it comes to the canola oil. Now I let the oil to heat up to the point that so I can season the wok. I'm going to use shrimps that which I have. They are large shrimps, and I coat the shrimp in advance with cornstarch because this actually protects the shrimp from the heat and also to give a nice crisp texture to the shrimp. The end result using this method, which I referred it to as shallow frying, will give the shrimp better texture and also keep them more moist and tender. And now shrimp turn out to be a great source of protein when it comes down to weight loss because shrimp has a relatively low calorie and they have low cholesterol as well. While I'm pan frying the shrimp, I add the mushroom right next to the shrimp. Now I have never cooked it this way before. I usually cook them separately or I add the mushroom directly to the egg. But they cook it this way because they want the mushroom to be more cooked than what I normally do. So this way they can cook the mushroom for a longer period of time. As you can see here, stir fry is more complex than what it might appear on the surface. It looks like it's very simple, but you can come up with many different variations to adapt to both the way how you like to cook them, also what the flavor is going to be like at the end. So basically this pan frying technique is that you fry the shrimp on one side until it is nice and crisp, and then you flip it over and you fry the other side. In many ways, this is a slightly different approach to deep frying, except that you use far less oil. And so the end result, the outcome is probably healthier in comparison to deep frying. But you still can get the nice crisp texture to the shrimp. As you can see here, cooking the shrimp takes very little bit time, and the mushroom also cook relatively quickly. However, using this method, it allows you to cook the shrimp and mushroom in advance because the egg takes very little time to cook, so that helps accelerate the process when the egg is being cooked. So let's than a minute and a half, the shrimp and mushroom is pretty much ready. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to set them aside, and the next I'm going to cook the egg, and when the egg is ready, I'm going to combine them together to create the finished dish. This is an example of the various permutation of the Fuyang egg dish. The key is that whatever ingredients that you're going to add to the egg, it should be either cooked very quickly or it has pretty much already been cooked. In this case, cooking the shrimp in advance is essential, as you will see in the later stage of this demonstration that the egg cooks so quickly the shrimp will never have enough time to be properly cooked. There's still a little bit oil left at the bottom of the wok, but I'm just going to add a little bit more oil. And then I'm now going to let the oil to smoke gently because I want to make sure that the egg do not stick to the bottom of the wok. So I want to season the wok adequately. If you're not familiar with this seasoning method, you can take a look at this video. I next pour 6 eggs into the wok. You notice that the eggs start to bubble immediately. That is a very good sign, suggesting that the egg is not sticking to the bottom of the wok. Next, I add some my basic seasoning mix. You can learn more about the ingredients of this seasoning mix by taking a look at this video. I already have some scallions cut up in the refrigerator. This will add both to the color, texture and flavor of the egg. I next add the cooked shrimp and mushroom to the dish. Now what I'm doing now is a combination of making an omelette and a scrambled egg. I fold the egg around the ingredients like I would do with an omelette. But at the same time, I start to break up the egg a little bit, almost like I'm doing a scrambled egg. I then fold the egg gently for about several times. Make sure that the eggs are properly cooked. The advantage of this approach is that you can actually add quite a bit of ingredients to the egg because if you do an egg omelette, you are pretty much restricted by how much you can accommodate inside the egg omelette. But in this case, you really don't have any limitations. In here, you can control the textures of the egg by deciding how long you want to cook it. If you want the egg to be more firm, you cook it a bit longer. And if you want it to be more runny, then you cook it for a less amount of time. Now the dish is done. I'm going to transfer the content to a serving plate. This dish takes little time to cook. From the time when I start cooking the shrimp to the time now I'm putting them on the serving plate is a little bit over 5 minutes. And when you consider that you are cooking this dish all from scratch using fresh ingredients, it is really not bad at all. And lastly, I'm going to garnish the dish with a little bit of oyster sauce together with just a touch of soy sauce as well. Now the dish is served. Actually, this dish is very flexible. You can serve it with different type of carbohydrates. In this case, my wife and I decided we're going to eat this with some rice. We decided we're going to share between us 6 ounces of long grain cooked rice, and that lead to about 222 additional calories. So that brings the entire meal to 936 calories. So each one of us will consume a little bit less than 500 calories for this meal, which is not bad at all. The meal was quite satisfying, and we both enjoyed the shrimp and the mushrooms. As I was talking to my wife, we decided we probably could reduce, for example, the eggs from 6 eggs to 4 eggs. And we can also reduce the amount of rice from 6 ounces to 4 ounces if we want to have a lighter meal. But for sure, we do not want to reduce the shrimp or the mushroom because they will retain the original quality and intention of this dish. With this change, we can basically drop another 200 calories really without affecting our dining experience. So after going through these numbers, I agree with Jane and Tom completely. This dish actually is a very good vehicle for losing weight. The beauty of that is that they still truly enjoy what they are eating. And with the use of template-based cooking, they can create many variations without getting bored at all. To me, this is the full benefit of home cooking. You can control exactly what you put into your body. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.